Turn on that radio and back here. The cops ain't likely to catch up with us, not tonight. So we can all be quiet and peaceable and listen to the music.
All right, what's up, Tommy Elwell?
Hello, David Villa.
I am excited, man, about today's show.
Why are you excited about today's show specifically, Dave? Do you have a reason or no?
Just excited, man. I love sales, brother. We've got a
Thursday.
great. It's Thursday.
That's right. Dang it. We're doing the show. Okay, we're doing the show. Got it. I got my bearings about me. Let's do it.
And whatever Tommy's been smoking. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm really aware we're doing a show today. I'm just kidding. It wasn't like this is a dry run. This is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Hashtag #AutoDealLive. Let's do this dang thing.
Let's do it. Hey, we don't have a lot of time, Tommy, because we're going to jump right into it. We're going to give our guests as much time as possible today. And so I'm excited, man, to sit here with you. Today is we're going to be discussing a couple of different topics. We have, of course, you all are tuned in because in just a moment, the next up on Auto Dealer Live is Grant Cardone. Obviously, you know who he is. Sales guru, expert, author, speaker, owns multiple businesses, and he's going to be on the show today. We're going to have a full half hour with Grant talking about the topic that he's going to be speaking about at Digital Dealer in just over a week and a half, and that is how to build a world-class sales team. So I'm excited about that. That's obviously something we're passionate about as well, and we have a lot of buzz going on about it. And then we have a second half of the show where we have 4 dealers that are going to be coming on discussing, 4 internet managers discussing internet wizardry.
It's so chock full. This is such a chock full show today. It's chock full of goodness.
You got something coming up right here, though. In my opinion, I watched it yesterday. I know they did the video or the recording earlier this week. I watched it yesterday. In my opinion, it was the best slash tags you've done.
I like the one
hats.
Well, thank you.
Thank
you. Well, I like the one we did with the voiceover in Chinese. That one was phenomenal.
Yeah, but this one might take the cake, man.
So, hey, but real quick before we go to slash tags, which is brought to you by Automate, let's do this one thing. Hashtag AutoDealLive, hashtag Ask Grant. If you have any questions for Grant, we're pulling questions. We got some questions here. We're going to be talking how to build a superior sales team, all that good stuff too. But if you have something you want to ask him, get it to us, and we'll try to make it on the show if it's a decent question, if we deem it good.
Yep. So hashtag AutoDealerLive, hashtag Ask Grant. Also, we're opening up the phone lines today, and I believe we already have some callers calling in. We advertised that earlier, so we've got some calls we're going to be taking as well. Listen, really quick, if you want an Auto Dealer Live hat, they just came in. We're going to be giving those out to the top influencer today, along with our brand new.
I don't even have one.
Yeah, you do, man.
I have a shirt.
You have a hat, too. You gave it away to one of the sales guys. Hey, here's the deal. We got a brand new shirts in. This is the 2016 edition of the Auto Dealer Live shirt. Check that little thing out in the sleeve. Yeah, if you want a hat or shirt, tweet your freaking hands off and
tweet your hands off
and comment to death. Are we ready for slash tags?
Next up is slash tags, brought to you by Automate. Let's do it.
And right after that, Grant Cardone.
Come on. Slash tags. As usual, we are doing our thing. You guys are sending us tweets. You guys are ragging on each other. You make it always fun. Here's just a few of some of the tweets that we experienced last week that we think were worth mentioning. Without further ado, here we go. Mr. Steve Stawning, at Steve Stawning, he said, I'm just guessing here, but I'll bet those needing a cultural change most are also least likely to listen to a show like Auto Deal Live when we were doing our culture shock show. And that's probably a pretty good point there, Steve. Sarin at Juren. She said, forget the education at Digital Dealer. Come eat burgers in Vegas. Come on now. And I love a good burger, so I'm definitely a proponent of that. Jeff Glacken. I always have a problem saying his name. Jeff Glacken. At Jeff Glacken. Wow. At Auto Deal Live is speed bagging Arnold Tier spearing his nuts today. Like speed bagging his nuts. It says, weaker than puppy piss and Arnold is a douche. Hashtag ouch. Sorry, Arnold. And then Arnold actually retaliates with, at Jeff Glacken, at Auto Deal Live. No kidding. Isn't that like Walt Disney bagging on a Disney fan? And the final, the piece de resistance, at Jeff Glacken. Jeff Glacken said, there it is, at Kane & Co. just threw out there. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Did we deliver or did we deliver? Did we not? Don't tell me if we didn't, okay? But here's the deal. Hashtag Auto Deal Live. Hashtag /tags. Keep it rolling. Keep them coming. We'll keep using them. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.
All right, Tommy, we're back, man.
What's up?
Let's jump right into this. We've got him on Skype right now, and just time's precious. So without further ado, we have the CEO of himself. This is Grant Cardone, best-selling author, international speaker, and CEO of 4 private companies, and I'm sure many, many, many other things. So I want to thank him for joining us. It looks like he's actually at his house there. I see that beach background. Grant, thanks for joining us, man. How are you today?
David, always good to spend time with you and the audience, the automotive audience.
Well, thank you. Well, we're excited as well about seeing you here in just under 2 weeks in Vegas. You're going to be doing a keynote, and I'm so excited. I was excited when I saw the fact that you were going to be doing this on sales because, that's like like the freaking Planters peanut man making you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what it's like to me. You know what I mean? If you're going to eat one, right, eat it from the best. So you're going to be talking to.
That's an interesting analogy.
That was pretty quick. That was on top of my head, too.
No, that's not bad. He's a peanut, so he's kind of, I don't know how to take it.
Well,
I don't know, dude.
I was thinking he's like, I'm going to take a chunk off my leg and I'm going to feed it to you. That's how I gathered. He's a peanut.
No, what I'm saying
cannibalism.
What I'm saying is we're going to be hearing from the best, man. This is what he does. He does a lot of stuff, but sales is where it's at. When you first think of Grant. And so, Grant, this is our phones are already ringing, but I want to ask you a question, man, to kind of jump into this thing, and we're going to let you talk. We had a question come in earlier that said, some trainers tell me, this is from a dealer, I need to think strategically and strive to understand each person on my team. And they're asking, is that, in your opinion, the first priority, or is that coddling, in your opinion?
Well, I would look at what, man, why do I always get so controversial right from the get-go, Like, dude, you got 50 salespeople. I'm not even remotely thinking in the morning about 42 different personalities. It's just not real. Like I'm running 5 companies today. I cannot do that. Whatever advice that is very small, limited thinking. Because if you're running 26 dealerships or 3 dealerships or 2 used car operations in different locations in the city, that's not even possible. What's being said there? It's kind of like writing a business plan. You can write one, but you're not going to put ISIS in there. You're not going to put Donald and Hillary in there. You're not going to put Zika, mosquito. You think when they planned the Olympics in Rio that they're like planned on a mosquito possibly invading the thing? It's just impossible for me to manage 4 or 5 personalities, much less 50 or 100 or 500 or tens of thousands, which some of the companies I work for, I just finished working for a company that's got 140,000 employees.
Wow.
How do you scale what he recommended? It's not scalable.
I agree with you, and I think that what you're going to see, and you came out of the car business, you're going to see some of these guys ask some of these questions because I think that they really, honestly, they have such a high turnover. Another question that came in was specifically.
Yeah, but so what? So what? You have high turnover,
right?
Why did that become such a problem?
Talk about that.
Well, first of all, I think it takes courage to get rid of people. Now, if they're quitting before you fire them, then that just means you're a coward. Like when people quit my company, I go to Jared and I'm like, dude, why'd you fire that guy? He's like, what do you mean? I said, dude, why'd you let him quit? You had to know there was a problem 60 days ago. Nobody leaves the day they quit. They quit 2 months, and 2 months, and then they hang out for a while. They puke on everybody. They tell everybody why they're not being successful, and then they finally, after a while, 2 or 3 or 4 months, leave. Why don't you guys fire people and feel good about it? See, somewhere the manufacturers, the Nissans, the Toyotas, the Mercedes of the world, in their ivory towers, I'm not picking on them, all of them, okay? They sit in their ivory towers and say, oh, the Mercedes customer's coming back to the dealership and Fred's not there anymore. And that's a big problem for us. Well, dude, you guys go through people too.
Yeah.
So what is the problem with turnover? You know, we got 7 billion people on planet Earth, most of which are broken, unfocused, medicated, illiterate. It's a damaged planet, is my point. Like if you hire somebody and they're the wrong person, get rid of them and go hire somebody else. But managers are lazy. They want to operate. And I'm not saying car managers. In all industries, people tend to want to take the path of least resistance. And David, you know, from owning your own company, you want to hold on to a guy because you know if you let go of him, that means you got to go recruit more people, and you're going through the cycle again. And you know how painful it is as a business owner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people understand that though, because you know I'm sitting here listening to you, just getting revelation as I hear it. Because, I mean, you're right. You kind of almost hold on sometimes, or I have over the years, to mediocrity, because you don't want to go, you don't want to fail, and you don't want to go back through. And
a lot of these are Republican car dealers that when they get on the airlines, they're like, why does that flight attendant treat me like that? You know why? Because they can't get rid of her, man. Okay? Why are we all so upset with congressmen and senators? They're there 30 years and they don't do anything. Okay? You guys complain about it politically and then do the exact thing in the car dealership.
That's strong. Wow.
You keep people that aren't productive. And just because Bob was productive for 5 years ago, and he's been with you for 30 years, don't brag about that. You know, in the real world, in a real economic, like if you took feelings out of the equation, you would promote and keep people based on production, not on how long they've been there.
That's good.
Mr. Grant Cardone, I had a buddy of mine. He follows you. He's a Cardonite, if you will, to some measure. He's in sales, been in sales for a long time. And I asked him last night at church, I said, hey, if you had something to ask Grant, what would you ask him? And he actually, he didn't give it a ton of thought because he was busy, but one of the things first, like instinctual, what he said was, he asked, how do people live out a 10X life? What do you recommend for people to do so?
You get around other people that want to, you need to get around people that you can't outgrow.
That's good.
You need to get, people don't need to study 12 different people. I mean, particularly with online and social today and blogs and Instagram, all this, the availability of content is so, so abundant that you can get information from way too many people. I think people should pick 1 or 2 people and follow them and dig in deep. And when you outgrow that person, if you can outgrow them, then move on.
Yeah, so
that's what
I was going to say, I watched one of your Periscopes the other day, and you were talking about how you don't need 10 mentors. Find 1 or 2 people that you can really follow and grow with, and then once you've grown to where you, as at the capacity of that person, that mentor is taking you, then you move on to somebody else. And ultimately, I guess that's the goal is find somebody you can't outgrow, essentially, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at really, really super successful car dealers, they're studying other people. Okay, their whole life, they're hanging around throughout their life. They inch up to the quality of people they're hanging out with in their lives. Okay, they started as a small car dealer maybe, and they had a boat, and the next thing you know, he's taking his banker out on the boat on the weekend, and then later he's got a yacht. But he's hanging out with different people. He's expiring some of his old relationships as he grows, and he's reaching for new people. He's going to different meetings. He's going to different conferences. Every successful car dealer I've ever met, whether they did business with me or not, were all readers and learners and studiers of other people.
Grant, speaking
and they always reached up.
Good, absolutely, I agree with you there. Speaking of successful car dealers, we have on the phone now Philip. I hope I'm saying this right. Pogue with Butch Ocelot Chevrolet in Mississippi. He's a general manager there. Philip, you with us?
I sure am. How you doing
appreciate
today?
Bubba Ostolet, man. Bubba Ostolet.
That's our dealer's brother.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, Phil, thanks for calling in, man. So what's you've been listening to Grant. We're talking about how to build a world-class sales team, and we're just getting started. What's your question?
Well, it's a question that every general manager and sales manager has to deal with, and it's should I cater to my top sales revenue producer even when they refuse to follow the company rules?
Dude, I would.
I knew Grant was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. I'm watching his face
Come
right
on
there.
now.
I would. You know, black lives matter, white lives matter, money matters, production matters. Why don't we reward people that do good? Like, man, if I get perfect grades, I should get something for that, okay? And if I can sell 30 cars in a weekend, or if I can outproduce 5 other people, man, you give me a different parking place. You know, so what? I don't want to obey your rules. Maybe more people need to break the rules. All the top producers break the rules, by the way. All the top guys. If you study the top guys, they've been breaking the rules since the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I would do, I wouldn't discipline high producers. I would discipline low producers. I would. There's got to be rewards and penalties, and can't just be a penalty. There's got to be a reward. And so this again goes back to that conversation, Phil, I had about, you know, most car dealers actually vote Republican, but they act Democrats. They act like Democrats, the way they run things, because they want to be nice to everybody. Economics are not nice to everybody. If you can't pay the bills, Whole Foods will not let you take the food. That's how I would treat people, just the same way the economy will treat them. You either produce or you don't. Like I'll give you an example. Why should low producers get 2 days a week off? God didn't even take 2 days a week off.
That's good. We actually got to thank you, Philip. We actually have another caller in too. This is Ernesto Servin. He is the general manager at Clio Bay Organization in Killeen, Texas. Ernesto, what's up, man? How are you? Ernesto, we got Ernesto on. Yeah, bring Ernesto in. He just called in. Philip, man, let me ask. Thank you for calling in. Does that answer your question? I appreciate it, brother.
I wonder if he's going
Thanks
to
a lot for leaving me hanging there, Ez.
I wonder if Philip is going to change anything he's doing.
No,
based
but
off
you know
the
what's
answer,
crazy about
or
that,
what he
Grant?
was already doing.
You know what's crazy, Grant? I know Ernesto's on the phone because they just said he was on, but I thought he was in the studio, but he's outside in the. But you know what's crazy about that, man? I knew you were going to answer that when I watching him ask you and your facial expression. But what's crazy is we're going to get tons. We already have Twitter and this and that. Do you think that people and I hate, you know, we have regular listeners that are weighing in like, what about the rules and this and that? Is that sometimes a sign of like, I can't, you know, that maybe it's almost like a hating thing? I don't mean on you. I'm talking about like hate the great. Like in other words, is that something that somebody that's not great, or I almost hate to say it.
Dude, not everybody's equal. You know?
That's good.
I think that's.
I mean, bottom line is like when I was 23 years old and I got a speeding ticket, I did everything I could to talk my way out of it. Today, if I get one, I'm like, bro, let's just do it quick. I'm in a different position. I should be rewarded for that. Anytime anybody watching this today, when you run across somebody successful, you should go thank them. You should be like, dude, thank you for being you, because that is the example of what you want to be. Rather than blending in and making sense of average, mediocre, below results. In the auto industry, really all sales industries are filled with mediocrity. The planet, this goes back to the whole planet. It's not automotive. And every time I've been here, David, I always say, dude, this is not an automotive problem. This is a human problem.
Right. Yeah.
If car dealers managed the way they voted, they would all be better off.
It's good. Well said.
Do we have Ernesto, guys?
Yes, he is.
Ernesto from Clio Bay Organization in Killeen, Texas. Sir, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Grant?
Hey, good.
My name's
Good
Tommy.
to talk to you.
Oh, Grant's on the phone too, yes. But I'm Tommy. Nice to talk to you.
Oh, Tommy, sorry.
I'm just playing with you. Ernesto, go ahead. Ask Grant what you got to ask him. Get the knowledge. Know the ledge, as we say.
This is Ernesto with Clio Bay Subaru in Killeen, Texas.
Ernesto, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm excited.
So what's your question?
Quick question. What is the most important decision a sales manager can make in order to succeed in building a sales team?
I don't know if there's enough time for that one, Grant.
What is the most important what?
Most important.
Decision a sales manager can make in order to succeed in boosting
Sell
a
cars,
sales
bro.
team.
Sell cars, man. You need to become like if you want to get the best people, you got to get super successful. The best car dealers in every city end up with all the best people. Why? Because everybody wants to go there. You know, be the beacon. A guy was telling me, I was doing an interview yesterday. A guy said, look, be the beacon, not the tugboat.
That's good.
You know, be the lighthouse, not the tugboat. You don't want to pull people into your store. You want them to come like, I want to work here because your pay plan's better because you guys sell more. Like, what if you had a car dealership where the average guy didn't do 8, he did 18? Wouldn't everybody want to work there? So the bottom line is, and by the way, what I'm going to be talking about at Digital Dealer in Vegas is not how to build a world-class sales team, but how to get world-class results. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get results, how pretty you are don't matter. You know, I got a haircut today, Dave. I don't know if you could see it.
Dave
But when
got a
I
haircut
left,
today,
my wife
too,
said,
you
what do
guys.
you think? I said, the guy butchered it. But it don't matter. It don't matter because I'm going to be successful today. So, you know, if you can just sell your products, have a great day, have a great weekend, have a great month, people are going to want to be around you.
It's good.
And so that's what I would say. The managers need to make sure their people make money from day one. And if that happens, people are going to want to work in your store.
That's good. Ernesto, man, if he's on still, thank you for the question. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
No
Mr.
problem.
Grant.
Thank you, man.
And Dave, you know, people, you know, that also means you got to be willing to get rid of people that aren't making it happen. I mean, in my company, any of my companies, if the statistics, if I'm flatlining and not growing, I'm not looking to add somebody first. And I think me and you have talked about this before. First thing I'm looking for is to cut somebody. I cut people. Okay. Now I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, if I get rid of that guy, then I'm gonna have a vacuum. I'm gonna have a hole in the organization. You already got a hole in your organization. Okay. You will sell more with fewer people if you get rid of the people that are holding the company back. The counterintention, the people that are slow, the people that don't want to be there, the people that fight whatever it is they're fighting, the new pay plan, the new products, whatever it is, man. Like if your people knew the way to increase sales, you'd increase sales. That means their thinking and their actions are holding up the sales. If you can just find that one person that's holding up the show, I guarantee you'll sell more products by getting rid of that person.
That's good. We have another caller, Grant, but before I bring him on, let me, picking back on something you said, I have noticed that myself, and I didn't always do it this way because I think maybe our personalities and a lot of sales leaders' personalities, we want to help people. We care about people. We see the vision can only come to pass with people. And so a lot of times I held on to individuals thinking that I could, be the savior there and help them. Yeah. And I really, it changed when I looked at, if I'm going to invest my time, it needed to be 80% of my time into the 20% that's bringing in 80% of the business, instead of trying to focus my attention on bringing the bottom up, so to speak. That changed for me.
Well, again, you got, why would you reward people that don't want to work? Mm-hmm. This is what our government does.
It's good.
See, it goes back to this. I know you're more conservative than you are liberal. Mm-hmm. However, your management style, what you just shared, trying to help people that don't want to help themselves, is actually in direct conflict with the way you would vote.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm not giving a guy a car. I'm not giving him a free phone. I'm not loaning him money. Dude, I never solve a junior's problem. A junior comes to me, I need to borrow money. Dude, that is your problem. I don't solve your problem. You came here to solve my problems. I didn't hire you to solve yours. So like if every senior, every executive, every manager would implement that, dude, don't solve their problems. Okay? Give a man a hand up. Don't give him a hand out.
That's good stuff. We got a caller in? Okay. Okay. We'll go bring. Okay, so we have a caller in first. We're gonna bring in. We have Brett Oob. He is the dealer principal and owner of 3 different dealerships in Louisiana. Brett, are you with us?
I'm here.
Love that guy. What's up, Brett?
Grant Cardone. We're at Lakeside Ford, where we do the 21st century Grant Cardone selling process here.
I love that, man.
What's up,
You want me
Brett?
to go ahead and roll with the question?
Yeah, Brett. Yes, sir.
Hey, Grant, we know the auto industry has shifted, yet our sales forces haven't kept up with the changing requirements. What tips would you give to recruit people out of this industry that would fit our need?
You know, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think that where there's so much emphasis on social right now, Brett, and digital, I think people are starting to abandon some of the traditional things that are important. Like, I would hire people that already have. I remember Billy Navarre. I don't know if you knew Billy Navarre, but he was a great car dealer in Lake Charles, Louisiana. You know, this guy hired the same way network marketing companies do. You know, they're like, who do you know? When he hired somebody, he didn't look at their IQ or their clothes. He's like, who do you know? Where's your family located? How many friends? Where did you go to school? Dude, this guy was going to get everything he could out of a guy in the first 30 to 60 days. Because the truth is, if you can't tell your friends and your family, what you doing on Facebook?
No doubt.
That's good.
So if I can't, like, literally go see my mom and say, Mom, you're going to buy a car. Okay, you don't want to buy one? Come drive one. Let's just do a demo. Like, if I can't get 3 appointments a day with friends and family, what am I doing worried about, you know, Google search results and analytics? And, you know, I think people get distracted, don't get the results, then they don't know why they get the results, Brett. So I would just say, yeah, we're in a new age, but it still comes down to people.
That's good. That's
I got
good.
you. I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for calling in,
3
Brett.
appointments a day, Dave. You know, 3 appointments a day, Dave, it doesn't matter what I know. If I get 3 appointments a day, I could be stupid. Like, I could be the dumbest guy with the highest prices, and I'd still sell 1 of the 3.
Let me ask you. I know what you do because you're all over everything. You're on social media. But a question that came in earlier too. There's something that I wanted to ask you about because again, a lot of people, you know, don't think like you. You know, they're asked, how do you hire great people? And they ask something. Do you recommend ads online? You know, word of mouth. You know, what's your opinion on that? I mean, I know you've.
I hire people constantly. I'm constantly hiring people. Like, we always will hire someone. We will never not look at somebody. We look at videos only. You have to send a video. I don't look at resumes. Send me a video. If that's a problem, then. But the other thing is people want to work with me. Mm-hmm. See, that goes back to that thing about the lighthouse. You know, you have to become a lighthouse. So, you know, the other thing is your company has to grow so that the people in it have places to move up to. Mm-hmm. Because you can't get great people if you have no place for the great people to go. Mm. All you end up with is a bunch of average people. So the guy with one car dealership is kind of like he's playing a game now that he can't win at. Because if I go to work for him and he's got a limited budget, limited think, limited people around him, and I'm really great talent, I'm going to know real quick this is not where I want to be, and I'm going to go work for Hendrick.
It's good. I agree. I think it's good. And
do some Twitter
Yeah,
Twitter
sure.
questions.
Can I just add one other thing to that? Sure. If you guys are looking for great people, I would also look for people that want to make money.
That's good. Car business is a place where there's money to be made. I mean, people need to understand that. And I think I see such a great industry, man. I really do. And
yeah.
I just see such a great industry. I don't know how you feel about it. I tell my guys all the time because we happen to, you know, service dealers and sell dealers. And I go outside and look around. Find somebody that doesn't have a car. I mean, and if you wait till somebody needs a car, that's not how the business is done. I've always thought it's an emotional decision. Unless your car explodes into 1 million pieces, as long as it gets you from point A to point B, you don't need it. You want it. I mean,
it has never been easier to prospect than it is right now. I mean, it's real today, you know, that you can lower somebody's payment, shorten their term, and give them money back. Mm-hmm. That's how good the deals are.
That's crazy.
All right, so one of the questions we had a bunch of people tweet some questions. This is kind of, I guess, more leaning personal, but you can answer if you want. It's from Kevin Campbell. He asked, how many different income streams do you have, and which ones get the most attention and time, and why? You lose track?
Well, Man, I don't even know how many, bunch. I got hundreds of income streams today.
Wow.
Grateful and blessed to say that I do. But I know that when it started, I was selling automobiles. My second flow of income in a car dealership was I learned how to finance cars, not just sell them. And I remember I was working in Sulphur, Louisiana. The finance manager's name was AJ, and AJ wanted to go home every night at 6 o'clock. And I kept looking for other flows of income. And people were trying to convince me to do something outside the car dealership. And I'm like, dude, I'm making money here. I know what I'm doing right here. I got to figure out how to get a second flow right here. And so what I did was I started to learn how to finance cars. So I took a buyer. I got paid on the front and the back end of the deal because I started taking deals after AJ left, converting those people, selling them finance, credit life, accident health, warranty. I learned how to do that. I went to school, a finance school, funded my own finance school, so I could learn how to get that. Some months I would make as much money financing cars as I would selling cars. Now, I know a lot of dealerships aren't going to allow that, but the point is I looked for ways to multiply income at the same job I had. And a lot of people make the mistake. They have a job, they're making $4,000 or $5,000 a month, or $8,000 or $12,000, and they go outside that. I just wrote about this in the Millionaire booklet. I'll get you a copy of that, David.
Yeah, thank you.
And I said, look, when you set up your second income, don't go outside your universe. Use something symbiotic, something that works that like a glove fits on a hand. Use something that doesn't take any more time or effort. It just feeds back and forth. So.
Hey, one question too, Grant, came in by salesperson. I think this is a pretty good question because I know how I feel about it. I just want to see your opinion on this as well. But it came in, it says, is the best model for sales managers, in your opinion, to lead by example, selling on the floor as well, or take more of the tower approach, kind of navigating the team's direction? That came in from a car salesperson that wants to remain anonymous.
Yeah, no, man, I think, I want to see people do things myself. I'm going to have a lot more respect for somebody that can go out there and save a deal, make a deal easier, set a deal up, load my lips. I mean, I want to see somebody that's got some dirt under their fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I agree with you. I think
but your
videos
so,
where you've taken TOs on the calls, the things that you put in.
Look, I have managers say, man, I don't have time to do all that. Well, bro, you're not busier than I am. You're not busier than I am. If I'm going to manage 100 flows of income, and back to that other question about which one do you pay attention to, I pay attention to the one that pukes on me the most. So again, reward the pipeline that pays you the best. Reward the people that pay you the best. Reward your kids when they act right. It's all the same message, right? Reward the congressman and the senator and the governor by voting for him again. If he doesn't do what he said, freaking vote against him.
Simple.
That's good.
Well, one more question too. This was another tweet came in. Said what was one of the, I don't know if you can pinpoint this, but what was one of the hardest objections you ever had to overcome, and how did you do it?
Wow.
Yeah, it was always. I mean, the hardest one to handle is always, I'm not sold on your product.
Yeah, stuff.
So I mean, how do you handle it? If they're not sold on the product, they're not sold on the product.
Get better.
So at the end of the day, that's just like it's.
Yeah.
I don't need your product. I don't want your product. I never stirred up the need and the urgency enough to I have to do this right now. I missed something, right? Or maybe it was the wrong time.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys got to keep your pipeline full. This is something I did learn on the other side of that, though. Anytime you're disappointed, discouraged, or feel rejection, those aren't actually emotions. That's really an indication that your pipeline's broken, that your business plan is broken. So if you have that guy coming in, or that gal, or that mom, dad, uncle, whatever, coming in, and you thought, oh, for sure this is going to be a deal, and then they don't buy because of whatever the reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Understand that it's because if you had somebody coming in 15 minutes after them, and 30 minutes after that, and an hour after that, you wouldn't even care. But it's because you don't have enough going on in your pipeline that you become so dependent upon that one person that beats you up, and you get so introverted on that one client that wouldn't buy, or you couldn't handle that one objection.
That's good. Hey, Grant, I know we only have a minute or two, and would you have time for one? We have another caller that called in here. Do you have
Sure,
time
man.
for one? Dennis with, I'm not really sure.
What I'm wondering, David, is how you always talk me into doing these.
Well, I don't know.
He's a good
man.
salesman,
I'm
too.
glad. Hey, I'm glad.
This guy talks me into more free time than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate all your time. I can tell you that. I'm not sure. I hope I get this company right. I'm not really sure, but it's Dennis, and it's
Kivana? Is it
Quivana? It's not Carvana. It's Quivana. Dennis, are you on the phone?
Yes, I am. It's Kivana. It's Qivana.
Okay. Well, ask your question. I appreciate you calling in, man. And
Thank you.
what's your question?
Yeah. So So my question for you guys is that, like, right now, I'm building mostly my network marketing team, my sales force in the college area because that's where the product is like really hot in. And so, my question is, like, I have, I'm able to, the way I prospect, I'm able to prospect, 120, 150 people a day. And so, what I'm doing is I'm able to recruit people, but at the same time, obviously with any type of sales force, I'm getting some people who are doing more, some who are doing less. But, with your perspective, like, what would you recommend for me? Like, what should I focus more on, the really heavy hitters or the people?
Again, dude, I give attention to people. I give attention to people that perform.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the whole world works. I don't know why this is complicated for everybody.
Right.
Because you guys think you're Jesus or something. You ain't Jesus, man. You cannot save people that don't want to be saved. They want to be punished. Let them be punished. Because when they leave you, they're going to be punished. Like, just get the punishment on. Let's beat them up right now, man. Tell them the truth. Why don't you guys just tell people the truth?
Right.
So you're in a position to do that. You're not in politics. You're in business. So you get to tell people the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the work ethic. You don't have the commitment. You don't show up early. You don't stay late. So we're going to go ahead and do what you can't do for yourself. We're going to let you leave. Do him a favor, man. So here's some other good questions I'm seeing on here. If you got a second, David, I love this question from Craig
Dennis.
Lockhart. He says, "Why does Grant really think dealers are so hesitant to hire women?"
Craig, wow. What do you think? I mean, do you got to...
I think it's because of the hours, dude. I think men think that women won't work. Hell, the men ain't working. Dude, I don't even know what the deal is. I don't care if you're a male, female. I don't care about your sex. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you do at home. All I care about is what you do at that place. Like, I look for people to work extra hours. I don't pay people extra overtime, but I watch what they do. I watch what they do online. And I tell people to their face in the meeting, hey, if you're not on board all the way, if you're not selling products, every department, if you're not selling this company's product, I'll see it at the end of the month. And that means you're not committed here.
Wow. That's good. That's good. I never thought of that perspective from the standpoint of why not hiring women. And I know it's, there's a lot of discussion out there. I'd love to hear from some women and see if they agree with that, because I think one of the things you hit on in this political season, I think is doing it to you too. I'm just kind of liberated, man, with truth. I mean, it's kind of refreshing, whether you like Trump or like whoever. It's just, man, tell some truth.
There ain't nobody likes Trump, man. Right. They just hate the other side too. So I mean, it's not like anybody is in love with Trump. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody's like disgusted with a country that has so much potential, and so many people are not doing well. 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. How is it even possible? How is it that tens of thousands of real estate agents make less than like $12,000 a year? It's not even possible. I don't even know how you can think with it. Ferris Cassidy says, have you ever sold something for someone who doesn't need it? I guess he means, have you ever sold something to someone who didn't need it? Absolutely, bro. I mean, I guarantee you I've sold stuff to people that didn't want it, didn't think they needed it, didn't think they'd use it, and then found out they would.
That's good.
There you go.
Grant, let me ask you this, man. I know I don't want to put you on the spot for when you're at DD, but I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of dealers there, and they're listening now. Are you gonna have anything? I know you have tons of products. Are you guys able to bring some products with you? And if
we just finished creating a program. It's called Pick Your Problem, and we're going to give every dealer that comes to see me at my event, I'm going to give him one of those programs for free. I have 30 of them. So all he's got to do is come to me and say, hey, dude, I want one of them for free, okay? And I'm going to give him one for free. So you still got people that won't sign up. That's how skeptical the dealer is.
Right. That's cool. So you're going to have that there. So if they come see your keynote at Digital Dealer, which
you got to come see me. I want. You need to tell me which one of the 30 programs will solve your biggest problem.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you that program. It could be incoming calls, outbound calls, prospecting, closing the deal, taking turns, sales meetings, motivation, hiring the right people, leadership. I don't know what your problem is, dude. Is it social? Is it internet? I don't know what your problem is. So rather than me trying to sell you a whole big program that you don't need, I'm going to give the dealer, the manager, the GM, I don't care, dude. I'll give it to whoever wants it. I'll give you one program. I just need you to look at the whole thing. Tell me which one you got the biggest problem with. Give me the biggest challenge. Let me solve it for free, and then I'm going to hook you up.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you there, man. I appreciate you taking time. I know you're extremely busy. And
always good, always good.
Thank you, man.
I made a joke about how you convinced and taught me into doing it. It's because you're committed to the profession. You do a great job, and I think you truly care about people.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, brother.
And, dude, you got the best audience in the world, man. Auto lives matter.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
That.
Auto lives matter. Hey, Grant, man, I hope you have a good weekend, man. I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
Man. Thanks, dude.
All right, thanks, brother.
See you, bro.
That was awesome. We, you know what? Auto lives matter. How about this? How about the person that just snags up on that, man? We're going to have the best hashtag Auto Dealer Live, so we can track it with hashtag Auto Lives Matter as well. We're going to give away an Auto Dealer Live hat if you joined us late. These things, no one has these yet, except for I think a couple people won them last week. We're unveiling these at Digital Dealer 21, and also our brand new T-shirt, our 2016 edition of our Auto Dealer Live T-shirts. So top influencers today are going to get these. Again, nobody has a T-shirt except for people who work here, and they're pretty cool. Hey, don't go anywhere. The next up is Internet Wizardry. We're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. I want to thank our callers that called in.
Good job, everybody. Good job. I'm sure we probably could have spent 2 hours on the phone with Grant, and everybody would still be chiming in. But
hey, don't go anywhere. The next up is we have Joey Book, Kyle Costa, Andrew Myers, and Kyle Dahl. We have 3 people that are actually on the blacktop today. They're taking time out of their schedule as well. This is the last week of the month. We're a few minutes over, but we'll be right back after this commercial for the next up panel, Internet Wizardry. Don't go anywhere.
With rising competition and shrinking profit margins, you need every resource available to help you succeed. TrueCar has the ability to be the most powerful tool in your arsenal.
Go with the pros who know. Your dealership wouldn't trust its vehicles in the hands of an uncertified technician. So why trust its finances with accounting firms that don't know your business? Rosenfield & Company knows the automotive industry and has been serving dealerships like yours for over 20 years. We take pride in helping our clients grow from single-point stores to some of the largest dealer groups in the country. We are more than just your accountants. Our team can guide you through mergers and acquisitions, operational reviews, succession planning, and more. Visit us on the web for more information at www.rosenfieldandco.com.
Jason Rice from Lot Pop, and let me tell you what we do to help dealerships increase used car sales 20 to 30% in gross in volume. 3 areas we focus on: trend reports. We look at weekly trends that no one else is trending to make adjustments on our inventory. 2 is we do weekly review calls to review those trends, but also we dig through every car that needs to be price adjusted to increase the searches. And 3, we do a virtual lot walk, make sure every car is standing tall in line, and make sure we don't have bad photos like these. Check out our website, lotpop.com. our blog at automotiverevolution.com, and our weekly video tips at increaseturn.com. Thanks.
Service Group has over 40 years of experience empowering dealerships to grow profits, develop personnel, and provide their customers with a high level of service. We offer high-quality products, world-class servicing, and innovative training and technology. Meet our team, first-class trainers, the best account managers, and an executive team that's second to none.
This is your Service Group team. We look forward to giving your people the power to perform.
I'm excited about the future of TrueCar, and I hope you are too. As we evolve our product and service, we'll keep listening to dealers and making even more enhancements based on your ongoing feedback.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today. I wasn't sure if I was maybe an apparition. You ever have that where you're like walking around and like you hold the door open for somebody and like they walk right past you, don't say nothing, like, oh my God, am I invisible? And then you think back to that Kevin Bacon movie, Am I Invisible? I'm here today though, right? What's that movie?
I don't know.
Kevin Bacon movie.
Footloose.
Am I invisible? Well, let's get right into it because we're late. Sorry, ladies and gents, we're late. I do apologize, but we were doing other things with other people. But let's, without further ado, the next up is our Internet Wizardry panel, which I don't believe in wizardry. Just saying, not a big Harry Potter fan. But
our producer.
What happened? Our producer is who?
Yeah, Mikey.
Who?
Mikey. I like
Oh,
him
he
too.
does.
I like this show.
Or Lord of the Rings. I thought he was a Lord of the Rings guy. That's wizardry too,
we're
right?
behind schedule.
Okay. Well, without further ado, let's get to it. Mr. Joey Book is with us, sales professional at Lewis Automotive Group. Mr. Kyle Costa is with us, internet sales manager at Bustard Chrysler. Mr. Andrew Myers is with us, automotive marketing at What's Next, and Kyle Dahl, internet manager at Suburban. Oh, he had a wizard hat on. And then Mr. Kyle Dahl, internet manager at Suburban Ford. What's up, y'all?
Is it Kyle? Is it Suburban Ford?
No. Yeah, Suburban
Okay.
Ford.
All right. Good.
Got the big Suburban logo behind his head.
Well, there's 41 Suburban stores. I just want to make sure I get the right one, man.
Is there 41 Suburban stores, Kyle? Is that true? Wow.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, very good. Well, guys, why don't we get this thing started? Let's talk about. I actually had a question about why is it that in the internet department, I mean, I know it's a department, I get that, but why is it treated like such a separate entity, at least within the business when we talk about it and so forth? It almost seems like it's a totally different thing. You're not the normal sales floor. You're not a BDC. You're something different altogether. Whoever wants to field that first, go ahead. But why do we treat the internet department different?
Kyle Costa, why don't you start that off?
There we go. So we got two Kyles.
Yeah.
So Kyle Costa, we're going to go Canada first.
We'll do the brother on the north side first.
How you doing, bro? Go ahead. So answer that question for us. What's with all the division?
You know what? I honestly think a lot of the guys, so our internet department's completely separate from the sales floor. I really think they're just scared of it. They look at the internet department as something that people put the inquiries through, but they're not actually serious. They think they're automatically shopping 10 stores, looking for best price, and automatically assume you're not going to make any money. So they figure if they've done their research, they can make more money off of someone that's just a walk-in. But they don't realize today that everybody's an internet customer. I put it on Twitter a little while ago that it's really crazy for them to think a walk-in's just a walk-in. Everybody's an internet customer. Everybody's done their research. So stop treating it like it's two separate things.
Joey Book, let me ask you this question because, and this is just getting real. I know you guys are. I know how you guys feel, so I know the bias. Okay, but is it then with what the question Tommy asked, the answer Kyle gave, is it possible that maybe more people than we like to say still come to the dealership first, or that's maybe where we come in touch with the customer even to this day? Well, the reason I ask that is this, because I can't figure that either. And I'm not in a dealership. We serve dealerships. We're here at our company. So, our product obviously has, digital around it. But when I'm with Tommy, we have so many shows, man. And so I'm going to get real today. I want to just strip down to it here. I want to get real.
Thanks for that.
Well, do as many people actually get touched through the internet first And is that number actually something that's sustained? Is that a statistic that is proven? Here, the reason I asked it is, if so, I can't imagine. We talked about this, Tommy, like with selling a dealer, for instance. Like if Tommy, who is a human, okay, and works over the phone, if a dealer flew down to Tampa, walked in our front door, and he walked up to Tommy and goes, "Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
I want to talk to you about your program." And Tommy wouldn't go, "Oh my God, I can't do that. I can't do this. Can you do me a favor and step outside, pick up your phone, and call me?" Like, it doesn't make sense. So are the statistics really real, or are we really that divided?
Maybe it's real. There's so many people that come in off the internet, and it's made our jobs, I think, a lot easier because they come in and they've already searched the vehicle. It's not walking up on the lot and saying, "Hey, I want to look for a car, truck, SUV, or van. I don't know what I want yet." They're coming in off the internet and they've already selected the majority down to what they're wanting. So it's quite a bit easier with the internet.
Okay.
And the majority of our customers are from the internet.
I wonder too, is there here's one thing. My experience with the internet department, I guess, or the internet, I guess it's the websites. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but
I mean, there's so many different labels too.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this: go
ahead, man. Think it through.
No, I didn't think it through. I should have probably.
We have so many questions we ask Grant. You know, our brains are geared in one direction.
Well, no, I was thinking like, when I go looking at a car on the, if I were to contact the internet department, a lot of times the car I want's not the same one that's online or whatever. That, I mean, you get is where. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going with this line of questioning, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, why the hell is my expedition I like on there? Why is it not? And why is it not there? Why are you lying to me?
Why
are you lying to me, Kyle? Why'd you tell me it was there? It's online. I'm looking at it. Why is it not there? Can you answer that question for me?
No. Hey, let me ask Kyle. I want to go to Kyle Dahl. I'm going to kind of straighten Tommy's question.
Kyle had to drop off for a second. We're trying to get him back.
So I'm going to go to Kyle Costa here because I want to ask the same question to you that I asked Joey. And I'm being real serious here. I know Tommy kind of that was humor.
It was humorous and also frightening. That I couldn't complete a thought.
When you watch that back, you're going to be like, "What?"
Yeah,
but let me ask this, Kyle. I mean, seriously, I really want to know because, I mean, is it that we are really – why can't we teach internet tools, tricks, practices to salespeople who, again, are human that can sell? Okay? For instance, why the divide? Or why not, if they refuse to learn that and if more people are coming through the internet, do we not get rid of salespeople? Because here's the deal. Those same people are probably not prospecting, picking up phones and hammering them and calling people. So anybody in that respect can take a walk-in up. So why aren't we changing then? If that's really what it is, then why the divide? Why can't the person that's the floor person be taught? I mean, I have people in our BDC here. I had a 72-year-old man in our BDC here that literally hangs. Guy makes 400 calls a day. No joke. And he's on, and he enters them into the CRM, and he's 72. So my question is why can't it be trained?
You know what? For some people, I think it can be trained. The one flat-out word is laziness. Most guys do not want to sit behind the computer, take emails. The one thing they have to get through their head is when you're dealing with an email, most of the time they're not even going to end up buying that car they asked about. Just talk to them. Like, you got to remember, it's a human being. You're building a relationship. You got to give them some value, get them through the door, and then you start fresh all over again. Yeah, you built some groundwork. You've built some like a relationship over the phone before getting them in, but you still realize you got to kind of start over a little bit to go over some of the things that you went online to make sure that you're still going in the right direction, because you still don't know. Something might have changed by the time they actually got to your store, to make sure they realized they were looking at a car that had $5,000 too much options. So when you look at an internet inquiry, you have to remember it's just a person behind the computer who maybe has their defenses up, or they just don't have a lot of time to come in.
I'm going to give it to thank you for that. I'm going to give it to Andrew Myers too. Andrew, I love the hat, man. Thanks for getting in costume here and character for this show. We love it. And let me get you to weigh in on this conversation in general. I know that you serve dealers, and you're the only person that's currently on this panel that's not currently at a dealership. But I mean, you see this.
Yeah.
You see this. I mean, you see it all the time.
I do all my business on the internet. Almost everybody that's a client of mine has never actually met me in person. But I think to answer your question, the divide is really simple. It's process and it's personality. And people forget that they weren't very good at either one of those on their very first day selling cars either. They were given price and asking, hey, what do you want to do next? And they learn the process by being around other people, to bring them inside, and they learn how to break a person's intentions down and do a needs assessment. And I feel like that people are a little on an island. A lot of automotive internet people are kind of on their own. Maybe they read blogs, but they don't have that same sense of process and sense of that they're doing the same process their peers are. And what really holds them back more than anything is they're not able to get their personality across on the internet. Their voice inflection and their tone of voice and all their nonverbal gestures don't come along with them. So I think the perception is, without knowing how to do those things, that by joining the internet staff, you're sort of tying your hands behind your back when it's really not the case.
So, unless you're using co-video or something, there's no way for anyone to know that you got a wizard hat on right now. There would have been no way for people.
That's exactly right.
And that could have been the hot button that sold that customer. They would have been like, "That's it."
Yeah, try putting a wizard hat in an email. It doesn't work. And I think you hit video right away. That's exactly right. It's the ability to show somebody. I think a lot of people are afraid to do videos for customers because they assume the customer is going to not like them. Mm-hmm. But if you can put yourself on video in a way that'll make somebody not like you, then it's just as easy for somebody to see that and like you. And I think it's about being able to be unique and be more personable, like you'd be on the lot, and allow someone to know more about you, know who you are, how you are. And like I said, it's partly the process, because you start every deal like it's its own deal. You don't pick up where you left off like you do on the lot. And that's a bad habit. But a lot of it is personality also.
Kyle Dahl is with us now with the Suburban collection, the Suburban Ford. Kyle, we were talking, and I'm not sure because I know you went on and off, and so I'm not really sure if you heard the dialogue. But obviously, you know the topic we're discussing. And so, when I was younger, I'm 44. I'm aging myself a little bit. I think most of you guys are, if not all of you, are significantly younger than that. But I watched the Jetsons, and it's like we're living there now. And really, Andrew hit it on the head about video. I mean, isn't it really just a tool? I mean, isn't it really a tool? Internet is a tool. It's like, hey, eventually the person, they're buying a car. They're not buying an online car. They're buying a car, so they're going to have to come down and get it and drive it, and they're going to drive it every day. But it's convenience, It's like, hey, I don't want to come down there, right now. I want to check things out. But it's just us going closer to them rather than the old way. Car business is always like, bring them to me. Eventually they're going to come to you. But, I mean, isn't it just a tool that if we really want to do better, in selling, that we have to learn this tool? I don't care how old you are. I mean, talk about that, Kyle, and what you guys do there.
Yeah, I actually have all of my sales staff on co-video. I don't know if anyone uses that, but so basically I look at it the same way as just a tool. And it just engages people. It gets people more engaged. It's just a different facet. I mean, it goes from your phone call to your email, to your text message, to video. Whatever gets that customer engaged, I think, is going to work the best. I think that with video, used cars a little bit better because those are a little bit more unique. So when one of our sales reps gets a lead, the first thing they do is walk out on the lot and take a video of the car. And, I mean, it's just about setting ourselves apart from the competition and not only keeping our market space, but going after everyone else's and doing things that no one else is. And I think that's how we get customers into our dealership more often than other dealerships that are right next door, or the 8 Ford stores that are within 6 miles of me.
That's good.
What is the? We're getting close to.
I know one of your Ford stores, by the way, Kyle. I'm not sure because I know you have a lot of stores. Doesn't one of your stores do like 800 cars a month? One of your.
Yeah, that's my store. Yeah,
look at that.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
He's like, yeah, that'd be me. 800.
Well,
come on, man. That's stronger than freaking.
But we did like 937 last month.
Whew. That's stronger than Hercules with morning breath, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You say 937 cars?
Yeah.
Why not 1,000? You know what I mean?
I can think of a program you can plug in that maybe can get those extra 60 cars.
That's what we're looking towards. That's what I mean. We're just on the brink of it. Last year it was trying to get to 800. Then this year it was trying to get to 900. Now by December we should be at 1,000. And it's just the different strategies that we have. It's about getting to the customer as quickly as possible and not looking at them as an internet customer, looking at them as a customer and understanding the way customers actually want to buy. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of we try to do it better than everyone else.
Listen to him, ladies and gentlemen. You got a guy. Their store here is moving some serious iron, and he's in Michigan. And Joey Book, you're in Arkansas. I mean, here you are, man, and across the world, so to speak. And I think this will work, man. This internet thing, it goes to Arkansas just like it goes to Michigan.
Y'all got the internet in Arkansas?
You got the internet, right, Joey? You don't have sound,
apparently,
but
apparently they don't.
Right now, your
Dang
sound's
it.
not coming through.
Oh, your sound's not.
We didn't know that.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Here we go.
All right, go ahead.
You were muting. Good job. You were doing what you were told to do. Good for you.
We've got shoes and everything in Arkansas.
You got nice.
Internet shoes. It's unreal. The internet has completely changed everything with us, and it's a huge thing. It's a big part of my business. I mean, Facebook. I probably sell 70 to 80% of my customers will repeat the referrals off of Facebook, and I feel like that just has been a huge part of my business.
So what does that?
I was going to say, talk about that.
I would say, what does that look like? I mean, how do you? I mean, I guess referrals, I get that, but what does it look like? How are you getting? Because I think we.
I can tell you what you're not doing, right, Joe? You're not going, hey, buy a car from me. Hey, buy a car from me. Posting that every 5 minutes, right? What are you doing, man? Is somebody sitting there going, dude, I'm on Facebook. I mean, how's this guy selling cars, right? Talk about it.
Two key factors to it: time and balance. It takes a lot of time to build a Facebook like I have.
Mm-hmm.
I remember whenever I first started doing this, I would get 1 share, maybe 2 shares from my mom and dad, and a couple of likes, and that was about it. Now, I'm getting videos and stuff that are getting over 100 shares, and I mean that's a ton of people that it reaches. If you figure each person has 500 friends, each share that you get, I mean that's a lot of people that it's touching. So, but you have to balance that out. You have to put things with work. You have to put things with family. I have friends that come in and say, listen, I would have defriended you a long time ago if you wouldn't have put pictures of your family and stuff like that on there. So, and then they're coming in buying a car off a car ad that I posted. So it's been a huge success, but it takes time.
Andrew, I mean, you heard what he said there and I know you believe in that, and obviously with using video, but I mean, isn't it about content too, Andrew? I mean, Joey was talking about a number of people, because I think a lot of times, a dealer thinks that way, as people think that way. You want to think, hey, how many can I reach? But I mean, looking at, hey, I'm reaching a lot, but obviously Joey's content has to be on point for him to do really well and sell 70% of his business using Facebook. Andrew, talk about that and the importance of content when it comes to using the internet.
Yeah, it's crucial. I mean, we survived. We probably did our first $1 million in sales, and almost all of it was off of Facebook, just from knowing people. But I think something that he said that's really, really, really important is you have to imagine how what you're saying is going to be relevant to somebody else. And that might mean you have to post pictures of your kids and of your dog and of your vacation, and have to get people mentally invested in your life and your family and your journey. And for some people, that's sort of they don't want to do that. But you can't have one without the other. People have to really want to follow your story. And when you have content that you put out, it's got to be relevant. It's got to be something that people want to see. I probably have a half hour of dealer testimonials about doing business with us on our website, and they don't get very many views. I've got breakdown videos. I've got everything you can imagine. But what makes it relevant to my customers is when they have a question or they say something, I'm like, oh, check it out, I got a video. I would never expect somebody would pour through there on their own and figure it out. So as much as it's about saying, all right, look, I got a great piece of content, that great segue between your regular conversation and the part where you introduce the content to them in a way that you expect it to have value is everything. It's the most important part, because that's what tells them that you're listening and that the content is for them and not just something that you feel like blasting out.
That's good stuff,
Yeah,
man.
it's good. I think
it's real good. I like that.
Okay, well, what do we have?
We have a caller.
We have a caller.
Yes.
Are we waiting on the caller?
He's ready to go. His name is
Ivan?
Salona Volkswagen.
Ivan Telalai.
Ivan with
what?
I'm sorry, what Volkswagen? Salona Volkswagen. Ivan, are you on the phone?
Ivan, are you there, sir? Ivan,
are you?
Unmute your phone if you're muted.
Okay, so we'll come back if you get him. All right, so go ahead. What was your?
I was just going to ask. I mean, we're starting to get to the point where we got to wrap up the show, and everybody can take a couple minutes. I just want to know.
Hello,
Ivan.
Yeah, I'm
hey,
here.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me, guys?
Is it Salona Volkswagen?
Yeah, that's right.
Salona Volkswagen. Now, where are you located?
Well, I'm looking at the topic right here, and I found it really interesting, and I just want to share with you guys some points that I wrote down while I was watching it. I might share it with you guys.
Sure.
Sure. I think internet, it's just a huge tool that within the next, I don't know, it should be, big time already in dealerships. I tell you what, I use my Facebook wallet, not my personal one, I have my own, and I use it. I shoot some videos, and what has worked for me in the store is that you got to tell your customers up front who you are, just right away who you are. You got to be sure of what you sell. You got to know all the product all the product you offer to your customers. And something very important that I just tweet on Twitter is you got to build trust. If you don't build trust, if you don't tell your customer what you do, what you represent, what's the company you work for, and what you can do for the customer, then if you don't build that trust, you might be able to not get the deal done.
That's good.
I think ultimately,
thank you, Ivan, for calling in,
I was
man.
going to say, I think ultimately why I think, and Grant as much as Grant was on the, spoke about, and the guy's a wealth of knowledge and so forth, the stuff he was saying wasn't brain surgery. You know what I mean? It was very simple, boiled down stuff. And a lot of time with this, the reason why Joey was talking about, he said, it's taking a minute to build my book and, people on my Facebook and da-da-da. Well, you want to know why you're having pictures of your kids and having pictures of yourself and your wife and going out to dinner and stuff, why that's effective probably when you're doing Facebook and you're trying to sell cars?
Why is
Because
that?
people see you as a friggin' human being. They see that you're a normal
because
person.
they have kids, they eat, they go to dinner.
Absolutely. Then another important thing. I don't know if do I have time?
You know what, Ivan? We I'd love to, man, but we got to go. So
give us a holler next week, man.
Yeah, give us a holler.
Because we're actually out of time today. But good. Thanks for calling in and good talking to you. But
absolutely,
I think
thank you guys. I appreciate that.
No problem, Ivan. Thank you very much.
But yeah, so I think so ultimately, guys. So ultimately, I'm gonna give everybody a couple minutes to wrap it up. I'd like to see, or ask everybody to kind of wrap up on this. What does the future of the internet department look like within a dealership? I know we're like everyone's saying, and I probably concur that everyone's an internet customer. They're doing some shopping on internet, some way, shape, or form, research, and so forth. What does the next 5 years, in your opinion, look like in this business? We'll start with Joey Book. Why don't you start us off, and then give us your closing comments, sir?
With the internet, I think there's no telling where it's going to go in 5 years. I started this business 5 years ago, and like I said, I started it with Facebook, and it has been. It's hard to even keep up sometimes. There's always updates with new things, and there's always people like Andrew Myers that are coming up with some awesome video strategies and stuff. And if you guys don't follow some of these guys that are on here, they're absolutely amazing and incredible. And I follow each and every one of them, take tips from them each and every day. But like Andrew, you can watch some of his stuff, and it's just like, wow, holy cow, that's an awesome video. And that's what you need to put that kind of stuff on the internet, and it'll bring more and more customers in. So with the stuff that he does, there's no telling what the internet's going to be like in 5 years.
Like a little hologram, like in Star Wars, just pops out there and gives you the keys.
Remember we did that virtual reality a few weeks ago too. We were doing VR stuff. Ooh, maybe that's the next.
It's just something you have to hang on to and keep learning and growing, just like Facebook. That thing started off, it was nothing. They had MySpace out back then. I don't know if you guys remember that, but there was music and all kinds of stuff, and everybody was choosing Facebook. And now look at Facebook is incredible.
Joey, how does someone follow you, man? What's the best way?
So I have 2 Facebook pages, which is a big thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. There's a personal page. There's people that stop me at Walmart. I don't know if you guys know, but in Arkansas we have Walmart home office, so there's Walmarts everywhere.
Bentonville.
I thought you were going to say. I thought he was going to say, "Hey, when I thought you were going to stop short after Walmart." I thought he was going to say, "In Arkansas we have Walmart," but then he said home office. So
that's where I get these shoes.
People see me in Walmart just getting stuff, and they're like, "Hey, I need to come see you. I saw you on Facebook." That I have no idea who they are, but they know my story. They know who I am, where I work, and stuff like that. So I'm on Facebook. My name is Joey Book. Facebook.com/guaranteed approvals is my business page. Twitter, Joey Book, @JoeyBook. Instagram, I think it's book_Joey. So,
man, thanks a lot, man. Wealth of knowledge, great professional, man, and excellent job that you're doing there at Lewis Automotive Group, man. We just thank you for taking time to be with us, man. We
So
got
if you're
a
in
lot
Fayetteville, Arkansas, that's a guy to go see.
Fayetteville, yeah, come see me. Hey, I give $100 referrals if you know somebody in the market.
I expect bird dogs all day right now for that little plug. So, but it's Tommy with a Y. So, and now let's go to. Thanks again, Joey. Let's go to Kyle. Let's go to Kyle Dahl. And the same question, and just to clarify, I don't know if he misunderstood. I want to talk about the future of the internet in the next 5 years in general. I'm talking about specifically the internet department within the dealership. What does that look like in 5 years for you guys? What's on the horizon?
Well, I mean, I legitimately think there is no such thing as the internet department. I mean, everyone's an internet customer these days. But as far as the next 5 years, I mean, there's a number of things that you can look at. I mean, off-site BDCs, not having a BDC within the dealership, actually having people at home working from home, answering phone calls, answering emails, just setting up your CRM correctly so someone can use it from home. I think that's one way that it's moving. I think the other way is using your CRM correctly with all the media sources that we have. Segmenting your CRM from your conquest customers to your equity customers to your prospect customers, using email, using Facebook, uploading your customer base to Facebook and targeting them through Facebook so that you're hitting them in all sources of media, through phone, through email, through TV, through Facebook. I mean, there's so many different opportunities that are going on right now, and it's kind of exciting to be in because, I mean, you can try as many things as you want, fail as many times, and then try something else, and whatever sticks, and just use it.
Man, Kyle, well said. I'm going to go to Andrew Myers. Andrew, for your closing thoughts, and you know what Kyle just mentioned too, and when Joey was talking, I was just thinking about, you know, sometimes we have a tendency, you know, to maybe ask questions or lean towards technology, and I think really cool stuff is obviously there. But what really I think matters of what and where the trends go, are where the people go. You know, isn't it really about people? Meaning that Facebook is, again, nothing more than a place where people are. And, you know, if we want to sell to people, then we have to go where the people are. So touch on that and give your closing thoughts on where do you see this going in the car business and what do you see in the next couple of years?
You know, Kyle keeps saying all customers are internet customers, and maybe you treat a lot customer a little differently than you would an internet customer, but they're the same person, and the process that you would use to attract them shouldn't be entirely different. You know, we've already had customers having us do the virtual walkarounds inside the vehicles for them, and, you know, it's coming. I mean, our clients already can give you a walkaround of the car, an entire series about why to buy from them, you know, tons of testimonials. And I've already got, you know, people contacting us that are putting 6 and 7 figures into brands that are meant to sell cars online. That is coming, you know. So will the industry be there in 5 years? I have no idea, but there will be people throwing money at this idea. It'll be an option that your customers will have in front of them. So my closing thoughts are this. Touch on something Grant Cardone said. Let them leave, man. Let them quit. Get them out of there. I've got some really, really quality dealers that when you walk into their BDC department, it's dinosaurs and people who, if that new product came out, they could not influence those people to adapt it. They don't have that kind of control. They've taken their best sales guys and let them run the BDC rather than doing it backwards. So my biggest advice would be let them leave, man. Find people that have personality that can permeate digitally to your customers and put those people in that spot. Spend the next 5 years developing the right people for that job and not trying to jam a square peg through a round hole. That is the biggest problem that people have. Is recognize that the difference between a person on the lot and the person that comes in digitally is only your ability to slow them down and build value in doing business with you.
Man, thank you. Thanks, Andrew. Tell the listeners how they can reach you for help.
You can always find What's Next Media. Just Google it, and you can always find all my bio information on there for Facebook and Twitter and everything else. Most dealers, I've been creeping around accepting every friend invite I have. So most people watching the show are probably already friends with me. They just didn't know it. But you can always Google my name, Andrew Myers, on Facebook, and I will gladly accept. And also, anyone can tell you if you have questions or anything like that. I love answering whatever I can. Most of the time, that's where I learn half of what I have. So feel free to shoot me any off-ball question you have, and I'll probably make a podcast about it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for being with us. And Kyle, I'm going to go back to Kyle Dahl 1 second because I forgot to ask you. Kyle, I know there's some dealers and some listeners that would love to connect with you if you do that. Didn't you just? I know you just got on Twitter, didn't you, recently?
Yeah, I started a Twitter about 2 hours ago.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's follow him, guys. If you're listening, I want Kyle to give that. Let's see if we can blow his Twitter up, and everybody follow him. Hey, listen, first of all, the guy's selling a lot of cars, and if he had the time, I definitely want to be picking the brain of somebody that's doing that well. What's your new Twitter handle, man?
It's at Kyle Dahl 87. Let's
All right.
get this trending.
That's it's at Kyle, and that's KYLEDAHL, and that's 87, right?
You got it.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being with us, brother. Appreciate it, and thanks for listening.
Absolutely.
Go to Kyle Costa.
I was just trying to see if hashtag Auto Lives Matter was trending on Twitter. It's not yet.
We have so many hashtags going on today. I don't know.
Kyle, so your final thoughts, brother. What is the future of the wizardry of the internet department look like?
The future is you got to get more. I'm going to go back to something Andrew said that I even wrote it down that I didn't want to miss it. Don't tolerate average. When you're dealing with a customer who's online, just thinking about coming to your store, it is too easy to make a mistake and it's too easy to lose them. So don't tolerate average. You got to be willing to put yourself out there on video, Skype with a customer, FaceTime with a customer, do walk-around videos, so that way when they come in, they are ready to do business because you've already gone that extra mile and you're making them want to go to your store and realize why you guys are the pros in the industry. And the more and more people will do that, they will stand out, and that's the future. If guys don't want to stand out and do things like that, they're going to be waiting at the door, for the rest of their lives, selling 4 or 5 cars a month. And it's as simple as that. Work on a sales process, have an online sales process, treat the customer like a human, because that's where I think a lot of guys forget. And then as following up with customers, don't be lazy. Follow up relentlessly until you know the customer is gone. And that's basically it. Put yourself out there. I do a lot of videos on Facebook, and I always tell customers, check it out on my personal and my business page, and I kind of call it education-based selling, because I want to teach customers. A lot of them are frustrated with how long it takes to buy a car in the sales process. Mm-hmm. So I actually tell them the way salespeople were taught to do things and why it takes so long, so they understand it. And it's been working well for me. I'm getting a lot of hits off Facebook for that.
Awesome. Well, speaking of Facebook, give our listeners, if they don't already follow you, tell them how they can.
So I use 2 Facebook pages. You can my regular one is Kyle Costa. Then I have Kyle Costa, the Chrysler guy. Instagram is at the Chrysler guy. Twitter is at Kyle Costa, and I just started a blog website. There's only a couple posts up there now. It's called automotivesalessuccess.com. So
Awesome.
Anyone can go there, follow the blog. I'm going to be doing a blog once a week on sales process, online, and the way it should be for guys that are doing it right in the industry.
Well said.
Well, thanks again.
Guys, thanks for joining us, man. I know it's the last week of the
guys.
month. Close strong.
Yeah, go get to work. Sell some cars.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Great show, T.
We're just start doing 2-hour shows because.
Well, we're 15 minutes late. That's not bad.
Yeah, but last week we were too.
Yeah, but we had Grant.
Oh, we were late last week.
Actually,
though.
Grant.
We were late starting last.
Grant
week.
went into overtime because when we got towards the end, Grant said, "Hey, do you got a couple more minutes?" What are you going to say? You can't say no to Grant.
Be like, no, we have to keep a very strict time schedule here on this internet
because
that we have no time schedule.
Right, because the next show starts on the network.
But what is the next? But the next up is actually going to be Ram on Fire. He's going to come up next.
Is Ram on Fire? Okay, we do. So we're not finished yet. So you don't want to miss this, huh?
His first episode he ever did.
Oh,
it's the inaugural episode.
So next week. Okay, so next week is the brand new Ram on Fire.
Is that right?
The fire starter. So we already have it. It was a little mix up. It was his new commercial today, and then today we're gonna go back. It's a throwback Thursday.
We're gonna go back.
We're going back to the very first
Back in
Ram
the
on
time.
Fire. This is where it all began. Right here. The very first Ram on Fire. Hey, real quick before we do that, thanks to Joey Book, Kyle Costa, Andrew Myers, Kyle Dahl. We have some great automotive pros. Thank you to Grant Cardone, and thank you to the multiple callers that called in. I want to thank you guys for taking time. Again, this is the last week of the month. I think it was worth it. Before we go to Ram on Fire, the next up is BDC Internet Strategy Show. That's next week. We have John Marazzi on the show next week. We've got several dealers on the show next week. It's going to be really, really strong. We've got we've got like others. But I know John Marazzi's on the show. I just don't know who they are.
Just
so BDC Internet. That's today. Today's BDC Internet. Why you give me?
That wasn't today. That's not today. We didn't do BDC. We did the Wizardry. Get
Okay.
out of my face.
BDC
Get out of my
Internet
face.
Strategy Show, and then we have the dealer show.
Well, he's trying to figure it out. Look, I'm gonna do my I'm gonna do my Robert De Niro impression. Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Eh?
Hey,
That's all I
in
got.
Robert De Niro's voice, before we go to the Rainbow Fire, tell us where we're gonna be. We're gonna be in Vegas.
You should go to Vegas. You'll like Vegas. We'll be there. Digital dealer, auto dealer live. It'll be a hoof. What do they call those things? They call a hoof.
The whole trunk thing. This, you could fit a whole body in there. I remember when he's on what's that?
Yeah, it's analyze this,
analyze this, analyze that. When he was, the trunk side, he was selling cars. He fit a whole body in there. Look how big the trunk is.
That's all I got.
He said, "Look how big the trunk is." All right, guys. The next up is the very first Rainbow Fire ever.
God bless you. Good night.
Hello, I'm Alan Ram, president and founder of Alan Ram's Proactive Training Solutions, and here's what's got me fired up today. I speak at a lot of Dealer 20 group meetings. One of the questions I ask of the dealers at every meeting is, do your managers listen to every sales call on call monitoring? A reasonable question, right? The overwhelming majority of the time, here's what I get. I wish my managers listened to sales calls. We probably listen to 20% of them or some other lame answer along those lines. I've actually had general managers tell me that they canceled their call monitoring because they couldn't get their managers to listen to it. Are you kidding me? If you've ever said that, then you're the problem. Let's put that to the Say It Out Loud test. The Say It Out Loud test is a great thing to do when you're thinking about doing something really stupid. Let's say it out loud. I canceled the service that allowed me to listen to real customers that want to buy cars today, talk to my salespeople because my managers didn't think that listening to those calls and quickly resolving missed opportunities to do business was important enough. I think you get my point. There is no activity for your managers to be engaged in that is more productive or more relevant when it comes to selling cars today than listening to sales calls and quickly resolving missed opportunities to do business. How easy is it for a manager to have call monitoring open on their desk throughout the day and listen to just the sales calls as they come in? Let's face it, how many sales calls do you really get daily? 10, 20, maybe 30? How many managers do you have on staff throughout the day? So it's not like they're going to each have to listen to 100 calls. And don't tell me they don't have time either. They have time. I've seen them. As long as your phone numbers are tied to the right departments, it's not a problem. Now, 1 for service and 2 for sales can also help make sure that calls are going into the right call monitoring bucket, if you will. Here's why it's important to do it throughout the day versus letting them pile up until we have a chance. Call monitoring should not be thought of as primarily an accountability tool. More than that, it's a save a deal tool. That customer that's calling you at 10 a.m. is going to be out somewhere buying a car at 4 p.m. If we listen to that call at 8 o'clock tonight, it's too late. Here's another benefit to your managers listening to the calls. When salespeople know that you know, in other words, when they know they're being held accountable, the effort level naturally rises. It all goes hand in hand with training. If you don't train them and then you just hold your people accountable, all you're going to hear is crap and missed opportunities. Train your people and then hold your sales staff and managers accountable. It's simple stuff. One more thing. Outsourcing your call monitoring is a bad idea. Here's why. That 19-year-old kid monitoring your calls 3 time zones away in his mom's basement is not nearly as qualified to make a determination on when a call was maximized versus when it wasn't as your managers. I can listen to a call myself, and even though the customer may have set up an appointment just to get off the phone, know that this lady isn't really coming in. I can gauge whether it's a real appointment or smoke, and then make a determination on whether to call the customer and tighten things up. Furthermore, if you listen to my debate on Auto Dealer Live with Jerry Tebow, he actually volunteered that many of these companies employ agents to monitor dealership calls in third world countries. Are you kidding me right now? He volunteered that like it was a good idea. So you make the decision on whether your highly compensated sales manager is more qualified to listen to and ensure opportunities are maximized, or some kid in Mumbai. Apparently, that's really a thing. When you have a moment, please make sure to go to my website, alanram.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and watch the debate labeled "You Had Me at Hello" to see some of the ridiculousness some dealers buy into. Even if you weren't in the car business, I can assure you it's entertaining. Watch it until the end. Your managers listen to your sales calls every day throughout the day. That has to be a priority if you did in fact come to work to sell cars today. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest.